A family of 3 spent all their savings to buy a large apartment, but just after they moved in, they discovered that the building was actually crooked. The son gently placed a marble on the floor. The marble unexpectedly rolled quickly toward the balcony. Tom instantly felt an ominous premonition. To verify his suspicion, he placed the marble on the floor again, but this time the marble stayed firmly in place. Seeing this, his wife thought her husband was overthinking it. She said that such an expensive apartment couldn't possibly be crooked, so Tom stopped taking it seriously. But that night, something terrifying happened. A heavy rainstorm caused the entire building to suddenly sink by 5 centimeters. The residents who were asleep did not notice anything unusual. Early the next morning, when Tom was about to go to work, he strangely discovered that the road, which had been flat just yesterday, had cracked open, so he immediately called the municipal department and asked them to come check it. However, the city officials said that this matter required collective approval from all the homeowners. Left with no choice, Tom called all the neighbors in the building to hold a meeting. But when he said that the building was tilted, the neighbors were even more unwilling to let the city authorities come. After all, if word got out that there was a quality issue with the building, the property value of the complex would drop significantly. And just like that, the discussion ended on a sour note. The next day, several of Tom's colleagues came to his home to deliver housewarming gifts. During the visit, his colleague John just wanted to wash his hands, but he found that the tap water suddenly started cutting in and out. However, he didn't think much of it. After dinner, since both John and Julie were drunk, they stayed overnight at Tom's place. Little did they know they would soon regret this decision. The next day, the entire building lost its water supply. The neighbor Mark wanted to ask whether the uncle in the neighboring building also had no water. The uncle just jokingly teased him. Unexpectedly, the very next second, the entire building began to shake violently. Immediately afterward, passers-by also noticed in horror that the ground was rapidly cracking. At that moment, Tom, who had just sobered up, only glanced out the window, and the entire building began to sink rapidly. The collapsing building eventually got stuck against a rock wall. Mark had just felt relieved that he had escaped with his life, but then the building tilted again. The car that had just fallen onto the rooftop suddenly crashed toward him. Fortunately, he braced himself with his feet and was not crushed into a pulp. It turned out that the person inside the car was John, who had been about to drive away. As the building continued to descend, John's car eventually fell into Tom's apartment on the next lower level. After discovering that the person trapped inside was John, Tom desperately pulled on the door handle, trying to rescue him. But the shoddy construction wasn't limited to the building itself. The door handle was ripped off in Tom's hand. Luckily, in the chaos, John managed to open the car window. However, just as Tom was about to pull him out, he suddenly heard a woman's cry for help coming from the rubble. Thinking it was his wife, Tom immediately abandoned John and rushed over.